The next one is Thibaut. Thibaut is with Albatross, and he's going to be talking about how technology can kill or boost a retail business. And we had a little sidebar a couple of minutes ago, and we were talking about this, and he said, he agreed with me to some extent that actually the future is not about technology, and the future is about humanity. And he's going to share his experiences with us in terms of how that happens. Thibaut, over to you, sir.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Thibaut. I'm working for a customer experience agency called Albatross CX. And a couple of weeks ago, I was asked to work on these two questions. How the customer experience changing with the fast pace of technology and the adaptation retailer need to take to make it up. So I was in a flight between Dubai and Shanghai, and I was working on it, okay? And during an hour and a half, I was writing some bullet points and so on. And I realized, landing in Shanghai, that I needed 3 hours to deliver this speech. And I said to myself, either I deliver in 20 minutes something that have to be said in 3 hours, but with my terrible French accent, nobody will get it, or I skip everything and I go directly to what people are asking to a consultant: industry knowledge and methodology. Okay, for the next 19 minutes, I will share knowledge about how technology sometimes kills the business and sometimes boosts the business. And together, we will review our recommendation in terms of methodology to implement technology boosting the business. So, working on worst and best practices and the methodology for success. So let's start with the worst practices, okay? So one day, an Italian CEO of a fashion brand woke up in the morning and say, I would like all my staff to be equipped with the best CRM clienteling app that you can find in the world, available before Chinese New Year. We were on the end of September. Chinese New Year at that year was the end of January. Okay, so to develop an app for a worldwide brand and to be available in a few months, it's a big challenge. Okay, and basically, what he did to make it all the Salvador equipped the deadline, he closed the restaurant of the company where the staff had their lunch to put 50 developers. He had the best photograph to shoot all his collection. Everything was ready at the end of December. Mid-January, all the sales advisors in Greater China of this brand had the iPhone 6, was the latest at that time, in their pocket with their app working perfectly well. Perfectly well. The best app you can find. And guess what? Their sales drop big time. Big time. Okay, and I had a lunch with this team who were very enthusiastic about this launch, and it's working very well, and it's easy to use, and they have an amazing features, but the sales drop. So do you have any idea why a brilliant technology actually had a negative impact on the turnover, on the business of this company? The answer is extremely simple. This amazing technology was not needed by this brand. As simple as that. At that time, the Italian brand was very famous. The traffic was good. The collection was amazing. And basically, what the Salvador had in their pocket, it's an app to deal with the existing client, a CRM app, okay? And you can imagine the CEO deciding that, making hundreds of thousands of euros to make it live and so on. So you can imagine retail area manager and so on, putting a lot of pressure to use it. So basically, this Italian brand, what they did is giving a technology in the hands of the sales advisor, making pressure to make sure they were using. So at that time, during this Chinese New Year, When you were entering their store, the sales advisor were playing with their app, okay, using it, and say, hello, yeah, welcome. Yeah, the last collection is here. Okay, if you need help, I'm here. Huh? But for the moment, you know what? I'm pleasing my CEO using the app, okay? And if you need me, I will be there, okay? So it is this technology, brilliant technology, working very well, killing the business just because it was not needed, and the pressure put on the sales advisor were disrupting them to make the business, to please the client, okay? So our advice to avoid this is to answer 3 questions. First one, do I need this technology? If the answer is yes, you ask a second one. Do I really need this technology? And the third question, do I really, really need this technology? And if you have 3 yes, you may start implementing it, okay? But you need 3 yes. Because most of the time, do I need this technology? You think about a very nice technology and you say, yes, I need it. But most of the time, you don't need it. So a second worth study, French fashion brand. Nobody is perfect, even French people, you can imagine. So a needed technology. Why a needed technology? Because this brand were having an amazing performance, okay, but not as fast as their traffic. This means their traffic were going up, but their business were not going as fast as their traffic. They had an issue with their conversion rate. Conversion rate, for those who are not in retail, is the number of people entering the boutique versus the number of people actually purchasing. They had a need to measure the conversion rate quite precisely to understand where to act, okay? So the conversion rate technology was not needed. Few weeks after that, they have very nice traffic counter linked to the cashier, and it was very well implemented, was working very well, okay? Accurate, easy to understand, and so on. And for this French brand, we are measuring their customer experience on a monthly basis. And what we notice on our hand is a drop in terms of attitude and behavior of the staff. Staff used to be quite nice, and their attitude were dropping a little bit, okay? And second things, the way they were welcoming the client dropping a little bit, to a point where during one of our survey, we understood that one sales advisor grabbed the hand of a young kid and yelled at him. You don't move, you stay here, okay? You stop running in the boutique. And we were in China. So China is a country where you have only one child. So you can imagine if the sales advisor is yelling at your unique child, what you do is you go away, you go on WeChat, and you make it a big story, okay? On Weibo or whatever, okay? So I had a lunch with this CEO of this French brand in Asia Pacific, and I was saying him, why is that? Why am I observing a drop in terms of attitude and behavior? Why you are not welcoming the guest anymore the way you will be doing? And the guy is, of course, a brilliant guy and say, that's my mistake. I put a KPI, a bonus, on the conversion rate. And I ask them, if your conversion rate is increasing at store level, I give you a bonus. So what the sales advisor were doing, avoiding the entrance, because there is a store counter here, okay? So I'm a little bit distant from that. And the children going back and forth in front of the traffic counter, they are the issue, okay? And they would prefer going to lunch through the stock room, even if the fire alarm was ringing twice a day, rather than going through the door, okay? So the technology was nice, okay? The implementation was easy to use. The way it was implemented was a disaster, okay? Not because of the technology, because of forgetting the impact that a wrong KPI to the wrong person linked to this technology will change your mindset, okay? And the technology, as Tariq mentioned, was used as a goal, not as a tool. A traffic counter is a tool, it's not the goal. The goal is not to increase the conversion rate. The goal is to please the customer, is to have a better business, okay? So again, a technology, brilliant technology, collapsing the business because the human factor and the implementation was going against the business. Third case, I'm quoting this brand because it's not a client of Albatross, okay? So in this plane going to Shanghai, okay, I was made aware about a kind of magic mirror, okay, that were available in a Forever Mark new boutique in Shanghai. So I was working on this presentation and said, okay, let's go to see a nice technology with a magic mirror in a boutique, okay? And of course, we are in China, so it was linked to a WeChat QR code, something amazing. I went to the website, and the CEO itself of the company published something about Libertem in a very nice shopping mall. It's the 1,000 Forever Mark store in China, so it's for the millennials, and everything will be amazing. And basically, this store includes a number of innovative digital experience. There is a 3-dimension diamond wall, and there is a magic mirror where consumer can instantly share their favorite pieces with friends and family. So I talked to my colleagues, say, let's go to the boutique, okay? And please meet Sophie, our country manager, who is based in China, so she has WeChat. We were entering the boutique. We would like to try the magic mirror. The sales advisor asked her, which item do you like the most? She points at a nice pendant and said, this pendant, I like it very much. I would like to try it, the magic mirror with this item. Okay, you go live. She was scanning, installing the app, everything working extremely well, efficient, and so on. The magic mirror will take a picture. 3, 2, 1, 0. The picture is here. What you can see on the screen of the magic mirror is obviously the pendant that you choose and the picture that you just took. The only issue is that the picture shared is this one. What is missing? The pendant. Okay? So their magic mirror announced by the CEO is a selfie stick. Okay? So my colleague was very happy to have a picture of her in a boutique that she can share with friends and relatives. The sales advisor didn't get the technology. They didn't understand that the pendant was to be worn in these things. And the magic of that is that in a shopping mall, their offices are upstairs. Okay, so it's not at the end of China in Wulumuchi or in Hohhot, okay? It's in Shanghai. They spend millions. The CEO is announcing that. The technology is working well. The only part missing is that the people who are using it, they don't get it. They probably receive a 1-hour training. Probably this sales advisor was not here, trained by another guy. So here the message is spend some time to explain technology, to have the people grow in competencies and get why this technology is helping them to achieve their own target. If the technology is not helping them to achieve their own target, you will have Forever Mark stories day in, day out in your boutique. And also the message, it means that it works, doesn't mean in technology it is nicely used. It's two very different concepts, okay? So now let's move to best practices to understand how some of our clients are making the best of technology. So here it's, again, an Italian brand, okay? We are having a lunch with them, and they ask 2 questions. What do we need in the context of our brand today? They are asking that to a customer experience agency. And how we can implement it in a way that sales advisor would like to use it. So we share our feelings on this brand, say your brand is very famous for the moment. Your digital presence is amazing. Most of the people entering your boutique, they already know what they want. The only thing they are worried about is, do you have it? Okay? So basically, it's quite easy as a sales advisor to sell because the brand is so hot that people, as soon as the door is open, jump on it and try to get their sneakers or whatever, okay? So they ask us, what do we need in the brand today? And say your role of the sales advisor is to create loyalty, is to share a feeling, is to deliver something on top of the product because you know what, don't worry, the sales will happen, okay? So they think about that, okay, we need to share story, we need to create loyalty with our clients, and they come up few months after that with a kind of internal Instagram that is working extremely well, which is basically working product category by product category to share with the sales advisor content not available in any other media that the sales advisor could share with the client when they are touching such kind of technology. And the brilliant thing of that is that there is no KPI to use it. There is no punishment. There is an avatar. When you join as a sales advisor, you choose an avatar, and the more you use your app, and the better your avatar hears. Okay, so if you don't want to use your app, no problem, okay? Your avatar will look very basic. If you use the app, if you pass certain exam, your avatar will become very fancy. And guess what? You can share your avatar with the other sales advisor. And you know sales advisor better than I do, they are always in competition. They like to be the first. They like ranking. So if you have the best avatar in China, basically what? You know what? You are very happy. So they reinvent, they start with this question in mind, what do I really need? I need my sales advisor to share stories relevant, not available in other media. Great. I develop a technology, I implement it in the way that basically it helps my sales advisor to tackle the current challenges of the brand, and a tool used with pleasure by the sales advisor, with pleasure. Not with a KPI, if you don't use it, you are fired, but with pleasure. So it's a little bit more complex to put in place, but believe me, it's much more powerful. Another best practices coming from a French children brand, omni-channel strategy. So basically, the question they ask themselves is how we can use e-commerce website to boost retail sales. That's, of course, a big question. And how to break the silos between digital and brick mortgage. And they found a very disruptive way to make sure that their e-commerce is driving business in retail. So it's in French. So let me translate it. So the brand is Jacadi. Again, it's not one of our clients, so I can quote the name. So livraison gratuite en magasin, it means that when you purchase on their e-commerce store, you have a free delivery in their shop. But you have to pay 25 dirham if you would like to have it at your place. A bit strange, not very customer-centric, to have free delivery in boutique and 25 dirhams if you deliver at your place. But guess what? They are doing that for Paris. Why for Paris? Because in Paris, they have boutiques everywhere their customers are. They are not in the 16th district because Jacadi, it's a mid-range, and here they prefer high range. They are not here part because in this part they prefer entry price. Okay, so basically they have boutiques everywhere their customers are working or living. So it's very convenient for a client to pick up in store. Okay, they are not making things so complicated. But the brilliant thing about their store delivery is that when you're a shop manager, you will receive the order taken online, and the amazing performance they did, on the parcel, they put what is inside. It's a white dress, 3 years old, for Mrs. Fromageau. My name is Fromageau, okay? So it's a white dress in 3 years old for Mrs. Fromageau. And the line below, it's written through that with the algorithm, what they have in stock, and which is matching the white dress 3 years old. So when Mrs. Fromageau is arriving to pick up the good, the sales advisor will welcome her. You are here to pick up the dress for your daughter? Yeah. Did you see the nice sweater matching it? No. Here it is. You can deliver the parcel and the sweaters. And guess what? Between 30 to 66% of the time, you purchase another item. Just because it's written on the parcel what's inside and what the store have in stock that can match with what is inside. Okay, so it's again a technology which is, I guess, not something amazing to basically put what's inside and what the store have in stock matching it, but basically it's a very nice way, it's a nice drive-to-store approach, okay, making it a little bit more expensive or free of charge, but you have stores everywhere, okay? It's a nice way to break the silos between e-commerce and store, okay, basically, And more important, e-commerce is not perceived as a competitor, but as a sales booster, okay? You have no idea about the number of boutique managers that spend their days to kill the e-commerce store of their own brand and find so many different excuses to tell to the clients, yeah, our e-commerce, you know, I had a client last week, she received the goods broken. So it's better if you buy it in my boutique. And those kind of things. It's happening all the time. It's not measured by the brand. So normally, when something is not measured by the brand, it does not exist, okay? But believe me, it's existing. Okay, so to conclude, methodology and conclusion regarding these worst cases and best practices, we need to remember the sentence from Steve Jobs, okay? Well, we can believe he's successful and is a technology. You have to start with the customer experience and work back toward the technology, not the other way around. And when Steve Jobs is talking about customer experience, he's talking about sales advisor and clients and their interaction in retail, okay? So our recommendation for success factor, again, implementing a technology because clients and sales advisor need it. Not because it's the last one, not because it's trendy, not because it's famous, not because your competitor have it. The CRM tool of this Italian brand was launched because the CEO of this company was jealous about the CRM tool of their main competitor. 450,000 euros spent, an emergency because the trigger was jealousy. Not needed, but jealousy, okay? The impact of technology on the retail working environment must be taken into consideration. Be careful with KPI, with bonus, with processes. You need to ask the question, what is the technology is going to change in my retail environment, okay, from a sales advisor perspective. And the big success factor is retail team must be at the beginning and at the end of any retail technology project. Because guess what? The retail team will ensure the technology is easy to use. They don't want to have something wasting their time. They will make sure it goes fast, and they will make sure it is relevant, helping them. Okay? Last three things. In case of success and failure, it is rarely because of the technology itself. Rarely because of technology. Most of the time, when technology are developed, they are working very well. Success and failure come from basically whether or not it is relevant, whether or not the way it was implemented make it a success, and the added value it brings to human interaction. We are conducting every year a survey, and we ask to 300 people per country, is technology used by the sales advisor bringing value? In China, 25% say doesn't bring value. In Singapore, 40% say the technology used by the sales advisor do not bring value. In the US, 38% of the technology used by the sales advisor do not bring value. It's not because of the technology, it's because of the content of the technology, okay? An average technology well used will always bring more business than an excellent technology with an average implementation. It's same as strategy. You can replace strategy by technology. An average technology well used will always bring more business than an excellent technology with an average implementation. And last, we must develop retail team competencies. We must give a meaning when we implement technology in retail. Otherwise, day in, day out, you will have magic mirror with no pendant on it, okay? So it's very important to basically understand that the team needs competencies. Shukran.